Was Jerry Lewis? Flamingo. All right, we're on page 11. All right, just to give you a quick update, and I think I probably showed this pretty much on the last one. Page 10 came together at the end. I think it looks real nice. I did some cleaning up and stuff, and it got it looking real nice. This parasol becomes important on the next page because there's danger. Just to walk you through it, we wanted to show one of these genetically modified gene tech beasts attacking, which it does. It's a beetle, this giant beetle thing with a sticky web thing, like a sticky tongue or something. And Scimitar grabs up the parasol, which is closed. He closes the parasol. This parasol will have to suffice, and then that's what's kicking him off on his quest here. Now, my problem, I'm looking at it now, it's only 4 panels. This panel right here is pretty much by design going to have to be an open panel. I think I have good diversity of figure size in here. Tiny figure, medium figure, larger, and a close-up. And that's kind of what we want. Also, contour lines can show you some dynamism in the figure too. So in this one, for example, this forearm piece has a curve that goes this way to show the inside curve. But in this arm, I've got the curve. Actually, this is kind of going the same way. So both hands are behind. But I was thinking of on the legs. Ooh, what's happening here? Come on. Come on now. All right. There it is. This contour, what do we call that? Concave, while this contour, convex. And I think I've got it just about wrong. So I'm going to have to make it, we want to show the figure in perspective. We want to show some dynamism. And by varying that up, you kind of automatically show that this one foot is in front of the other foot. I want to make sure I'm doing it right. Plus, I got to still work to keep the figure on model. I haven't quite memorized it yet. I'm a little worried about this parasol. Like, should I show him closing the parasol? Or is it he literally says this parasol will have to suffice. All right. But here's our danger scene. This is what solidifies the relationship, and gets it across the premise of having the brave butler. All right, so what do we do now? Well, we're gonna start right in on inking panels. Do the boring stuff first. So in this first one, there it is, and there it is. And I think we can officially say page 11 has begun. My one question, am I on the right? I am on the right. Take my pencil layer off. That doesn't look black to me. Is that black or is that gray? What's happening here? Oh, it's, you know what? It is gray. All right, we're gonna have to redo that part. What happened? I had the opacity down. So let's do that a second time. Gotta move this cable out of the way. All right. Today is my older son's birthday. Happy birthday, Noah. He is a grown adult. So, I don't have to do much for him these days. I called him up, though. All right. I'm going to remind his brother, who is in Texas right now, that it's his brother's birthday, his bro's birthday. Hopefully he remembered. I don't know. Birthdays lately have not been that important. I think my entire time that I was in college, and I was in college for a good long time, I put myself through college, but that one of those things that sort of implies is that it took me more than 4 years. Got a good experience out of it, though. Um, but I'm largely on my own for that time. Let's see. How's that look? All right, take a look at it without pencils. That looks pretty good. We got the nice separations. We got this big open panel area back here. I think I have my speech bubbles in the right place. But as you know, I kind of move them around sometimes, if I think of a better place to put them. But I think we can get started right into it. Get right into it. Let's give it a shot. So let's go ahead and rename these things. Panels, pencils, new layer. We're going to call this one ink. And okay. I'm going to give you the Joe Prado wisdom. Your first thing you should do is the nearest figures. In this case, there's a tree that's up here. But I don't know if I'm going to put the tree because look at where he's standing. So I don't think I'm going to put the tree right there. I'm looking at it now. What if we erase that? There was a thing that she's kind of sitting on. It was like I couldn't figure out how to do like a lounger. Oops. Whoa. Okay. We crashed. But we're back. But it was really just like a rock. See I did like a rock here? So maybe that rock is still there. It looks like you could fit in easily. Kind of right there. And then she gets kind of splashed with stuff. When I was looking at reference stuff for this, I was looking at the Marvel John Carter Warlord of Mars adaptation that was done in the early 80s, late 70s, I think. I have a bunch of them. And the artist was Gil Kane, so it was really good. And I was, the cover price on these was 30 cents, so I think it was probably 1979, 1980. And I turned the page to like the Marvel had like an editor section with a what's new and all kinds of stuff like that. And you know what comic they were advertising in the what's new? Star-Lord. I didn't realize Star-Lord was that old. I thought Star-Lord was like mid 80s, but it was like super early. Like might have even been 1979. I'll have to check and look it up because this was an old copy of John Carter. Unfortunately, I don't have it right nearby where I'd look it up for you. Okay. Let's get back into ink. And I want to make sure I got the right brush or I'll be hating life. All right, let's do our main figure here. And just hope I get it. Hope you get it. She loses her hat. She's thrown forward by the force of this sticky goo attack from the beetle. Am I going too heavy on that? Her hat flies off. Her antennas go forward. All these things are happening all at once. I'm still reading Gottfredson's Mickey Mouse collection, which is volume 3 if you're curious, if you want to look it up on Amazon. It's a bit expensive on Amazon. I think it's like $14.92 even just for the Kindle version. There's probably a cheaper real version floating around, used. Then this one, there's the bad guy from the... Okay, so there was a... Earlier in the saga, there's the story of Bobo the elephant, which is this elephant that Mickey ends up with by accident. I think I told this story. Mickey and Minnie are at an auction, and Minnie asks Mickey what time the movie starts, and Mickey goes 3:30, and the auctioneer goes $3.30 sold, and so he ends up with this elephant. And there's all these things that are really funny with the elephant and Pluto, and it's all the kind of fun you could have with a Disney cartoon. And the elephant's too big to fit in the house. The elephant is very destructive if you don't know how to take care of an elephant. And but then the villain emerges, and it's this guy named Stinch, and Stinch is going to do something like put the elephant to work on a farm as a work elephant, and they want to save the elephant from this unhappy existence on the farm. Apparently Stinch is very abusive or something. Well, anyways, Stinch turns out to be the villain in this current thing. And what he does is apparently Stinch's grandfather and Clarabelle, if you know who Clarabelle is in Disney, this is all deep lore, were on a gold expedition in the 1800s or something and found a mine. And he's trying to find the map to the mine, so he starts dating Clarabelle, but it's under false pretenses. And of course Horace is mad, which Horace is another early Disney character. But these are thoroughly awesome comics. I highly recommended the Floyd Gottfredson collection. Specifically Volume 3. Actually, Volume 1 and 2 are good. Volume 2, I think, is great because it's got what would you call it? I think it's called the Brand X or Double X saga, which are these... They've redone it in a million different cartoons, but what it is these monkey mad scientists are replacing people's brains. And I think they capture Horace really early on. And they capture Mickey, and they're about to, and then he has to fight his way for... It's a really cool comic. Double X, and Triple X are the names of the characters. They are not X-rated. That's just their names. They're mad scientists. Anyway, I thoroughly enjoyed these comics. All right, that's a thigh. That's a thigh. I got to do something with her hand here. A lot of times, when I haven't worked out what's going to happen with the hand, so I just got to kind of freehand draw it at the end here. So let's give it a shot. Maybe something like that. Is she generally in proportion? She should be losing her sunglasses too, but she took her sunglasses off, so she should be dropping her sunglasses with one of her hands, and I gotta figure out which hand was holding the sunglasses earlier. Okay. I like the line thickness I've been getting lately. I gotta be more careful. And that's not even enough line. That's a bad thickness right there. All right, there's the sunglasses. So that it was almost good. It was almost good. All right, how about this? I think I'm holding the stylus at a lazy angle, and that's causing me some problemos. But okay, I think we got it. I think we got it. All right. Takes it a while to get there. All right. She's barefoot in these scenes. She has these big boots that she wears when she was on the spaceship. And one of the things, this is going to seem silly. One of the things I was kind of interested in is if you go on Pinterest and you look up Katie Keene, Keene. Katie Keene was like an Archie's character. But the cool thing about Katie Keene is they would always do paper dolls in the Katie Keene comics, and it would be different outfits. And it didn't matter where she was. If she was in space, they would do space outfits. And if she was in a Wild West adventure, they would do Wild West outfits. So as just for fun, let me just show you a bit from the recent sketchbook. Um, just for fun, I did a Rabbit Fighter, Wild West or Waste World Bitter End paper doll. You know, it's got the poncho, gambler hat, boots. He's got all of his accoutrements, jeans, etc. That's my that's my Katie Keene homage there. But with her, I want to do kind of the same thing with Luminara because she's constantly going to be changing her outfit. She is after all a princess, right? So princesses have a fashion sense, I would assume. Oh, these toes are looking a little gnarly, but I think we're gonna keep them. We're gonna keep you toes. You can't dissuade me. Oh, all right. I'm gonna put her belt. Well, no, let's leave her belt back off. She wears the belt when she's in her full outfit. Okay. So they have these kind of like waist panels that are part of the outfit she was wearing, and so it just kind of shows that she's still wearing the same outfit. All right, let's take a look. Pencils. And once again, did we get it? Did we come close? There's her wings. Another thing, I was just thinking about these wings. The wings should be like a major advantage in this comic. Like, if these were superheroes, and they're not, her power would be, she has wings, right? Just like that's the power. And if you think that's a silly superpower, that's what the Angel is in the X-Men. His power is he has wings, or Hawkman or Hawkgirl. Her power is she has wings, right? So, and you could go, well, the nth metal mace. They made all that stuff up later. All that stuff comes later. The power is you have wings. So, in order for her to be in danger, we have to show why the wings are not useful in this situation. So that's why the beetle that hits her uses this sort of sticky effect, and she says, "My wings are glued, and it's dragging me backwards." Speaking of which, let's do the glue. Now, this is specifically why I was reading that John Carter comic, is I wanted to do some kind of webbing effect, and I remember there was some kind of monster that used webbing um, in John Carter, and I didn't end up using the reference. It was a little bit too specific. It was a spider, and I wanted to show, John Carter, the character being hit by the web. They never show that in John Carter. He falls off a cliff and he ends up in these webs, and a spider shows up, and that's it. It's a giant Martian spider. I remember thinking, oh, it's like Ziggy Stardust, right? Spiders from Mars. All right. We're getting somewhere. Now, this hat is going to mostly be blacked out on the brim just to be consistent, because it's already been doing that. Let's get this. Let's get this rock. All right, I'm going to do the rock as being just a little bit behind. I could put wings on one side of it and one wing on the other side of it, but I think we're just going to put it like as if it's behind. Let's take a look at what it looks like. Yeah, so in this case, the rock is just settled a little bit behind everybody. Okay. And we want to show the blast of the goo and the sound effect. Splurch. Okay. Take a look. I think those glasses are too small. What was I thinking? All right, let's do the glasses again. And the thumb. I erased part of the thumb. Her thumb is like this. That's too much. Her glasses are like that. And we could even, they are sunglasses. That's cool to do it like that. Well, tell you what, let's move these glasses a little bit. They're conflicting with where we want to draw Centaur, so let's put them right over there. All right, let's draw Centaur now. How about that? There we go. He's got the oil slick on his head. Part of the great Centaur design sense. And then narrow chest. And this sort of lower torso area. He's got shoulder gimbals. I've started to think of these as gimbals. It helps me to sort of envision how the shoulder would actually work if it were real. And there's kind of an elbow gimbal as well. And then the forearm. It's a bit added difficulty because I have his hand perspectively in front of him. Whoops. I have a sudden question. How many fingers? How many fingers does Scimitar have? I count 3. Oh, and you know what? I did a terrible job on those fingers too. Let's fix those. 3 fingers. Let's take a look at the fingers in this panel. 3 fingers, right? So you and I agree. Canonically, he has 3 fingers. Okay. I think that's a good beginning. I don't know if we're going to get this whole panel done or anything today. It's okay to take your time. I have apparently a rep of being fast, which I don't really like. Okay, I'm a little fast, but I don't think I'm that fast. I mean, you see, all the work for the most part is on video. Sometimes I'll get the thing out and I'll do a little bit after the video ends. But usually what I'm doing lately, last few months, is I do art all the time, but I'm working on my sketchbook, or I'm taking a class or something, which is not strictly speaking comics. So, how fast is it really? What I am is consistent, right? I'm doing this every day. And obviously you can't help but get things done when you're consistent. That's just a fact. It's just a fact, man. When I'm trying to do the Pine Grove Shuffle. Okay. Now I gotta make sure I get the lungs right, or the little chest plate right. Let's go back a ways. Okay, it goes like that. It's like they're reverse lungs. They're long in the middle and they're short on the outside. So here's what the symbol looks like. It's like this with one of these on the outside. Okay. Or maybe I should push that leg just a little bit down further. Oof. Oh, dear me. This is most unusual. Centaur is going to have that sort of butler um, personality, the effete, refined personality. There we go. Oops. All right. I think there's some plates, some like, oh, and I don't like that because look, I created my own tangent here. I should probably take a look at what's driving this. All right. I think that's a good start. Now we need to do, so there's going to be like a speech bubble and some trees in the background. I got to avoid, when I'm drawing my tree line, to loop at any point. There is a plant that looks like a little pod that I would put up earlier. And then there's also, both of these characters probably need a shadow, right? This is the rock. Not the Dwayne Johnson rock, but a rock that's causing a problem. Okay, here we go. All right. It's a good start. Let's put some, what are we time? We're at 31 minutes. All right. Let's put it into it right now before we lose our minds. And I'll do the speech bubbles. I've got a narration box that goes here. Where's my recents? I'm going to do a narration box up here. Oh, okay, also in Mickey Mouse, I found another narration box trick. A really cool one, and I want to start using it. Not in this comic, because I would have to have been using it for the beginning, but I'm going to point it out. We'll stay tuned for that in the next video that I do. I'll make sure to bring it up. There we go. It's the start of something, right? All right, please like, follow, and subscribe. Stay tuned for more comics every day. There's going to be more live streams. I'll probably do some more colored pencils. Maybe some more paper dolls or gouache. I was really getting into gouache. I'm still into it. I haven't done an oil pastel in a while, and I really like those as well. Those are a lot of fun. All right. Talk to you later. Bye.